Hello, Steve White, Trek Boy 89 for Steve Arts 89. I kind of found this a little bit interesting, but not really, but kind of. Um, Robert Picardo was talking about his role as the Doctor in Starfleet Academy because, this is the same Doctor that has been um, online for 900 years since Voyager. Because, I mean, the reason why Starfleet Academy isn't going to work and just going to be awful is instead of basing it in Kirk's early days or Picard's early days or in contemporary Star Trek, which is like post Picard season 3, where we could have all the living actors coming and doing lectures and being involved while basically having your primary cast. They decided to set it, of course, instead of in the original canon, Gene Roddenberry Star Trek universe. They've set it in the Prime universe, which is the JJ version of that, which was created for the movies and was sort of varied for the various Bad Robot and Secret Hideout TV series. And instead, so they set it in Kurtzman's 32nd century mess that they've sort of made post-Discovery going there. And the idea is this is the first class in Starfleet Academy in over 100 years, because when they had the burn, because SCD gave them the burn, when they got the burn, they just shut down because humanity just didn't have the gumption to sort itself out. It needed Michael Burnham, Space Jesus, to come and save them all, and they just sat there for 120 years waiting for her to show up, and she did, or 1,000 years, or however long it was. And she saved everything, of course, because she's God. And then it's like, oh, well, now we can function again because Michael Burnham saved us. So we may as well have Starfleet Academy again. So this is like the first class. And it's going to be like this lame attempt at... Because they always want to try and introduce new people who don't like Star Trek into this, but have it not be Star Trek. So instead of going into an actual Starfleet Academy, which is running and awesome, instead we're going to get like, oh, this is what Starfleet is. This is what they're going to be teaching them, basic stuff like they're trying to teach the audience. It's just going to be embarrassing. But all that aside, sorry, I went on a total rant tangent there. It's not easy. It's not hard to do, sorry, with this universe. But yeah, Picardo was talking about being 900 years old, and he was talking about how it would affect his personality. He's still the same Doctor, but different because he's lived for 900 years. He's seen, like, I think he said 32 generations of loved ones and friends dying. So he probably wouldn't want to make attachments and things like that. And I'm like, if you really were an AI living that long, you would have to assess how things like this would affect you psychologically in the long term and alter things, like after a certain time putting memories away, not memories of health issues, because he needs to pull on all that stuff. That's why these EMIs whatever are amazing, because they can just pull up all the Federation's knowledge in it and so forth, and their own personal knowledge over 900 years would be priceless. So you keep that stuff active and current, but you'd have to time out memories, so you can still get to them if you need to for some reason, but they're not there who's saying, oh, digital memory would be different, everything would just be sitting there right in front of you like it just happened yesterday, and the people who've been gone for 900 years would be like they were just there yesterday. And I'm like, you wouldn't be able to actually function like that. You'd have to find some way to vary it. And of course they're not smart enough to think about that, because they're not as, and I'm not even that intelligent, but they're not even as intelligent as me to look at that and go, you would not be able to do that, you'd have to do something and find some way to make that work. Instead, they're just going to ignore it. And he's actually come up in his own sort of, the way actors do, they sort of look into their character and try and find all these sort of things and discover their character. He's worked this out. They haven't, but he has. So maybe he'll actually help them to actually realise that a hologram living this long, an artificial life form living this long, would have issues and ways of functioning that would become unique over the centuries. So it'll be interesting to see if they do anything with it. I doubt they will, but yeah, so I just had to comment on that because I thought it was interesting. That's the only bit of anything interesting come out of trekmovie.com or Star Trek news lately. Not much is happening. We're just waiting for Strange New Worlds to come out and continue to parody Star Trek. Yeah, hopefully there'll be one or two decent episodes that resemble Star Trek and or generic science fiction. But we're mostly just going to get parody and goofiness and isn't sci-fi silly and fun, stupid people? Don't you just laugh at it because you're not intelligent enough to actually understand an actual science fiction story that we could actually break? But no, I'm not bitter. I'm gonna go. Bye.